In this video, I will teach you how to develop a productive practice routine. Having a productive practice routine as a clarinet player or any instrumentalist or musician is the key to success in your career. If you're not spending the time in your practice productively, then you're really wasting your time on some level. So you have to really be efficient with that time. Okay? But achieving a level of productivity and efficiency in your practice is not something that's easily done. So why is it difficult? All right. So it can be answered in many ways, but I have 4 ideas as to why it can be difficult to focus in your practice. First one, focus. It's hard to put away your distractions of your life and focus on working on your clarinet playing, but it's something that you have to do, and that's not easy, right? Life is meant to distract us, right? Videos are curated to grab our attention, and we have to have our priorities straight and know that our time is valuable, and you can't just give away your time to things that don't matter to you. So if playing clarinet matters to you, focus on it. Comfort. When I say comfort, I don't mean like being comfortable and all relaxed. I mean comfort of your muscles in your face and your body. Right? If you don't play in a way that is comfortable, then playing is going to be uncomfortable for you. So you're not going to want to do it. So in your practicing, I recommend working towards having a level of comfort in your playing. We don't all have endless amounts of time at our disposal to practice with. So we have to be efficient with our practice. We have to find time, we have to squeeze in time, and when we do have it, we have to make the most of it. And before we get on to what I recommend in your practice sessions, there are some things that I recommend you do to set yourself up for success in your practice sessions. The first one I recommend, it's not yoga necessarily, but you want to focus and quiet your mind. And I do this in my practice sessions by trying to eliminate distractions. Those could be mental distractions or physical distractions. So first one on the screen is your phone. I recommend putting your phone on do not disturb mode or airplane mode, turning it off, putting it in another room, setting a timer, let's say a 30-minute timer, and then once it bings or dings, and you can flip it over and look at it, right? But you can't let the notifications on this device control your attention. Or if it's mental distractions, try meditating. Try thinking about what's on your mind and get that off your mind, and then go to practice. And if what's on your mind is, oh, I need to text my friend back, or I have to do my laundry, do that. Finish what's distracting you, and then have the ability to really focus. Good. One more thing. Well, 2 more. First one is having a journal to write down your goals. Yeah. Don't just trust your brain to remember all of them. Write it down. So maybe say, my goals are for this practice session to work on measures 1 through 16 of this piece, and to get my reed sounding better and work on my altissimo range. Write those down, so as you're practicing you can check them off, and then once you're done, you're done. Stay hydrated. If you don't have water in your system, your body's not going to be functioning as well as it should, and you won't sound as good. Alright, let's get on to the practice session itself. I've got about 15 things that I think are very useful to include in your practice sessions. All right, depending on how much time you have to practice, you can only include a few of these. I'd say having between 2 and 5 of these pieces in your practice session is enough to really be productive. So let's go through them. First one is reed maintenance. So I'd say every once in a while, every week or so, spend 5 to 10 minutes putting your reeds in order of how good they are, labeling them. I have a labeling system. It's a 2-letter system. I put an L on my reeds that are too light. I put an H on my reeds that are too hard. I put a double L if it's really light, two H's if it's really hard. I put numbers on them. Number 1 is my favorite, number 10 is my least favorite. I'd have a system. Work on your reeds. If you find one that's old, throw it away. All this sort of reed maintenance is really helpful to you. Work on your long tones. Right, trying to play for a good amount of time, especially in the beginning of your practice sessions, where you're not moving your fingers, is really helpful. So just playing and focusing on the feeling of air moving through your clarinet is something that I don't think is done enough. Of course, learn your scales and try to incorporate some rhythmic exercises into your practice. You could throw on a metronome and play some rhythms over it. Whatever you want to do, but focusing on rhythm and having a good sense of rhythm is something you should work on. And we've all been around musicians who don't have good rhythm, and they make you want to pull your hair out, at least for me. Okay, work on your intonation, pull out that tuner, make sure you're really rocking on that. Work on transcribing. All right, if you hear a song you like, try to learn how to play it by ear. Having the skill to do that and pull that out of your pocket can help you just be a functioning musician in society. A person who is able to pull out your instrument at a family party and entertain, right? But if you don't have the ability to transcribe and you're tied to the ability just to read music to play your instrument, then you're not going to have as many skills as the world wants you to have. Working on improvising's important. Throw on a beat, say I'm just going to play a certain amount of notes. Let's say only notes in the key of E major and only quarter notes. So you sit there, you put on your metronome. Work on the ability to create melodies in your head. That can be more productive and more fun than just pulling out your band music and working on it. Oh, my favorite. So, spend 10 minutes and try to solve one specific issue on your playing. Let's see. So for me today, I played a gig in a church. I was doing 4th of July music, and I listened back to my recording, and whenever I got louder, my pitch went down. It's a trap I've fallen into often. It's one of my Achilles heels of my playing. So that's something I would work on today. So I pull up my tuner. Let's say I'll pick a note, an open G, and get louder and quieter, and try to not get flat as I go louder. And that would be all I'd focus on for my practice session. I wouldn't want to clog my brain with too many things. Work on your sight reading, obviously helpful. Working on your ensemble music, also helpful. Pick a range. Let's say you're only going to practice between your low E and your low C for 10 minutes. Right, focusing on that's helpful. Oh yeah, record yourself. Definitely. Let's say you want to get better at a certain section. The only way to do it is to know really how you sound. Our ears can deceive us. They can make you hear what you want to hear, not what's actually happening. So record yourself and confront the thing you don't want to confront, which is the way you sound. Take a break, right? If you're feeling yourself getting a little bit tired, take a break. Go on YouTube. Try to find some clarinet-related videos that can keep your brain active musically, but give your muscles a break. And when you start to reach a point of diminishing returns, where you are actually causing more pain than you are getting better, then stop playing. Yeah? There are a few signs of diminishing returns on clarinet that I think are important to know. First one is if you're having air start to leak out of the sides of your mouth, these corners, that could be a sign that your embouchure is getting tired. Another one would be, simply if these muscles are getting tired, stop playing. Right? If your wrist is hurting, stop playing. If your pitch is going flat, maybe your muscles are getting tired, stop playing. It's best to always leave a little bit in the tank for tomorrow than it is to use it all today, and then you are not a valuable musician to your ensembles the next day. Cool. So I hope that helped you think a bit more and maybe give you some ideas as to how you could have a more focused, efficient, and effective practice routine. Again, my name is Vincent Camuglia, and I hope that was helpful, and happy practicing.